A Topeka postal worker is recovering from a dog attack, saved by a neighbor who shot and killed the dog.
It's a story we first told you about earlier this week. And 27 News reporter Grace Gom is at the Topeka Police Department. That's the agency investigating this incident. So Grace, how's the postal worker doing tonight?
Yeah, David and Rebecca, that postal worker is still recovering from Friday morning's attack. And tonight, for the first time, we'll hear from her husband as well as a neighbor who was there and saw it all. They both say that they're just thankful this attack didn't end any worse.
It's not something I can unsee and unhear.
Sarah Stevens was delivering the mail along her normal route. Around 11 a.m., she stopped at a house in downtown Topeka, a home she'd delivered mail to many times. She noticed the dogs in the yard barking like normal and walked towards the mailbox. That's when her husband says a pit bull hopped the fence and took Sarah to the ground.
I got on top of him and I pushed on him, and she actually got him to let go at one point. She said he just twisted around and came right back at her. She put her arm back up to stop him from getting anything else besides her arm. It latched on her arm again. She said this time he took me to the ground. She said all I could do was scream for help. She said she was screaming for what felt like hours.
Sarah Davis lives nearby. She said she heard Sarah Stevens scream, ran outside, and found her on the ground. Davis's husband came outside with a firearm soon after and aimed at the dog.
Even after he came back out here with the firearm, I didn't even know he had it until he fired that shot, and my initial reaction was like complete surprise. I have no doubt that if him or anyone else wasn't able to stop him, that it would have ended up a lot worse, because the dog was in dog mode and nothing was stopping that.
She said all I could do was I saw the gun, and she said I just pushed myself and I pushed my arm out as far as I could. And she said thankfully his brain clicked with mine somehow, and he took his chance.
Davis says the dog released and ran back into its yard after being shot. Soon after, she says the driver stopped and called 911. Sarah Stevens was rushed to Stormont Vale with open wounds and a broken arm. When the police arrived at the scene, Philip Stevens says the man who shot the dog was ready to give up his gun. But because of Kansas stand your ground law, the shooting was completely legal. A Washburn law professor explains.
Think of that dog as a person under Kansas stand your ground law. If there was a reasonable belief that that person was trying to do that postal worker harm in a place where that postal worker is allowed to be, then you are allowed to use deadly force to protect yourself.
The attack happened down the block from an elementary school, and she says it's not uncommon for dogs to walk around the neighborhood without their owners. Stevens is taking time off work to recover, but says above all she's grateful for the man who saved her life and very happy to be alive. And again, the Topeka Police Department is investigating the attack. Working for you live in downtown Topeka, Grace Gom, 27 News.
All right, Grace, thank you.